Conclusion inevitable.
It was a jump to conclusions, Matt.
My conclusion was that this idea was not a practical deterrent.
My only conclusion can be that it was a Sith Lord.
In conclusion.
Hello there, folks! Welcome back to In Conclusion, the only movie podcast that will be extremely painful for you. I am Dan O'Keefe, and joining me, as always, recently dyed her hair, but still as square as ever, it's Anna Otto. How are you, Anna?
You hit the nail on the head. I'm square as ever, Dan. But with an edgy touch, you know.
Oh, and speaking of that edgy touch, also joining us...
Oh, Jesus.
is Nick Belsanti. How are you, Nick?
Heyo, I am feeling like, pretty good. That's what I'm feeling like.
I always like to feel, pretty good. And in case you didn't know by the title of this video, I said video, I meant podcast, I'm keeping it in. By the title of this podcast, we're talking about The Dark Knight Rises today. It is the third film in the Dark Knight trilogy, of which there are only two movies with the title Dark Knight.
Yeah, I got questions.
Again, directed by Christopher Nolan, screenplay by him and his brother, Jonathan Nolan, story by him and David S. Goyer, starring Christian Bale, Michael Caine, Gary Oldman, introducing Anne Hathaway, Tom Hardy, Marion Cotillard, Joseph Gordon-Levitt, and returning Morgan Freeman,
man.
and also Matthew Modine as himself.
Wait, Dan, I just wanted to say, I know this won't have been last week when this episode drops, but I really appreciate you dropping a Batman question in Fast Facts Live last week. I knew it instantly, and I was like, yes.
Because I ranted about it.
Yes!
On
I was
last
like,
week's
I only know this
episode.
because Dan literally just told me about this. I feel so smart.
For those of you who don't know, I host a weekly trivia show called Fast Facts Live. And one of the questions that we had last week was, which senator is known for his love of a Caped Crusader? Or, no, it was Patrick Leahy is known for his love of which comic book Caped Crusader, so much so that he has appeared in 6 of their films. The answer was Batman.
I was really
And it's
excited.
obvious that Nick did not play.
I played. It was fun. BD, you should join us sometime.
Look, I just know that I would dominate the space, so I decide I give other people the limelight.
Oh, you're too good. You're too good for it.
I'm far too good. I know everything. My brain is huge, and it knows absolutely no grounds.
You can come play with the Chili Boys sometime.
This is unrelated, but you said your brain is huge. Last night, Anna Horst and I were having a conversation because I have a gigantic head.
Correct.
To test if hats fit me, I get my local gallon of milk and spread it over the bottom of that to make sure that it fits. I was measuring, and my head is taller than her head and neck combined.
Wow.
You're a big man, SpongeBob.
You got a long neck, too, so that says a lot.
If your head was smaller, you'd probably be under 6 feet, and you know women don't like that, Dan.
Yeah, that's the thing that women don't like, as I would know for sure.
No, I'm just teasing. Gage is under 6 feet. You know I like them short.
Thanks, Sam.
You're welcome,
Thanks,
BD. I'm always here to gas you up.
Women only want one thing. It's men over 6 feet, which is why we can't hold a candle to octopi.
Yes, sir.
Oh my God.
Back to the stats of the movie. It was released on July 20th, 2012. It has a running time of 165 minutes, which I forgot about.
Yep.
She was long.
She was long.
It's quite long.
Mm-hmm. The movie made just over $1 billion, making it the third highest grossing film of 2012. Behind, can you guys name the other two?
2012?
One of them's probably Age of Ultron.
It's the first Avengers. That's number
Oh,
one.
the first Avengers was 2012.
What else
my
came
bad.
out that year? I don't know.
Skyfall.
Oh,
Ooh,
yeah.
let the sky fall, let it crumble.
That's pretty much this whole movie, too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The theme music is just as catchy, just no lyrics for me to sing.
Oh, yeah. Got the boy Hans Zimmer back on the keys. It was his birthday the other day.
Oh, happy belated birthday, Hans.
Yeah. Wasn't it like his 63rd or something? Or 57th?
Yeah, 63.
Oh my god, yes.
And before we get into talking about the movie anymore in depth or anything, there is a unfortunate reality that comes along when you talk about this movie, and we talked about it last week.
Because I'm dumb and don't remember when things happen.
It's fine. So at the midnight release on July 20th, 2012, there was a shooting in Aurora, Colorado, that happened at that event. I don't want to give details about it. If you want to get details, you can find them. It's very easy. I'm not going to say the shooter's name or anything. But it's just, you have to, if you're talking about this movie, I feel like you have to talk about it just to say that no matter what the events of the movie are, or how much you want to escape, you use movie as escapism, as you said last week, Anna.
Yeah.
It brings it into a very stark and harsh and depressing reality that you can't extricate yourself from, no matter how hard you try.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's pretty rough. I saw this movie midnight the night it opened, and I didn't know anything about that stuff until the next morning, hearing about it on the news and all that stuff. And I mean, just the pure thought of like, that could have easily have been a theater that I was in. And I mean, just that horrifying thought that washes over you when you think about that. It really does kind of like dampen the whole like vibe just going into this whole thing.
Yeah.
Like just in general.
I mean,
I don't know.
even if the movie's not going to be like a laugh out loud comedy, I mean, the whole point of a movie is that it's going to be fun. And like you said, like it's an escape from the real world. But when things like that happen, it takes away not only people's lives, but also the safety and fun of doing things like that. It can make you a little bit more scared. One of my biggest irrational fears, this is actually really embarrassing, but I'm going to tell you guys right now. One of my biggest irrational fears whenever I see a play or a movie is that something is going to happen to me while I'm there. And I guess it's not really that irrational these days. I don't really talk about it because it seems silly to me, but like you hear about things like that happening and it's just so sad, but such a reminder that like sometimes places that seem safe, I mean, without going and putting metal detectors and things every single where we go, I mean, like, I don't even know what I'm trying to say, but you know what I mean? Like, it's just so scary and sad that things that are supposed to be there for fun can become such a vessel for fear.
Yeah, I, like Nick, I also saw this at midnight, and I remember not knowing about it until the next day. But I do remember when we got back, I went and saw it with my oldest brother, who's 6 years older than me, and I was 14 when this came out, so he was 20. So, I mean, at 14, I should have had a better grasp on what the world was like.
I mean, I think even when you're in high school, you're still kind of in the bubble of childhood.
Yeah. And I remember I was going to bed, and I remember him turning on the news, and he was watching CNN, and I was like, "What's that about?" But it didn't stick into my head until the next day when I woke up and actually saw what had happened. And I had a cousin who lived in Colorado at the time, and I talked to him after the fact, and he was like, "Yeah, I could have seen." He went to see a midnight screening of it, and he was like, "That was one of the theaters that I could have gone to.
Yep.
It's within half an hour of where I am." He just decided to, on that night, to go to a different theater.
Yep.
And it's just the fact that someone would even do such a thing is depressing. And
it's horrifying.
Very, very sad. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think that we can move on to talking about the movie.
Yeah,
Now.
just gotta
There's
touch
also
on that. But...
Yeah.
something like good that like kind of came out of that. If you want to give a good piece of music a listen, Hans Zimmer and the rest of his orchestra put together a piece called Aurora right after the shooting happened. It's basically just like a riff on the themes from The Dark Knight Rises, but it's a really nice piece, and I think before, like when you would buy it, there was like proceeds that would go to the victims or something like that. But you know, just a nice thing to kind of try and cap that off.
Hans Zimmer strikes me as a very cool dude. Didn't he play Coachella once?
I think so. Yeah. He was.
He
He was.
Yeah.
He was at like he did like Lollapalooza last year or something.
Yup.
A couple years back.
Maybe that's what I'm
Like,
thinking of.
Yeah.
Nope, he definitely performed at Coachella in 2017.
Okay, that makes sense.
So yeah, we're gonna get to the movie now.
Sounds good.
But we just had to bring that up. So I said also featuring Matthew Modine as himself, and the reason that I brought that up was because I remember first time I saw this movie, and every successive time, I do not understand what direction Matthew Modine was given the entire time. He's not playing a character. He's not doing any. I don't understand him.
I don't even know. There are a few things in this movie that I have a few comments to make. I think I'll let us talk about this one first, but then come back to me.
Okay. That's all that I have about it. I don't get it. He's playing the same guy that he plays in every movie. It's the same as Full Metal Jacket, but it's not. He's just a coward.
I mean, sometimes actors don't have as much range as we think they do. And
He's there for the arc. He's there for the he just
the arc
does.
is that he puts on his uniform.
He does. He does. That's about all he does, and then he gets unceremoniously
Just mowed down.
Yeah. This movie is like brutal.
this movie is brutal.
It's been a while since this one I haven't seen in quite a while, so I kind of forgot a lot of the stuff, and I was like, oh my goodness.
Yeah, May I drop my comment? My not controversial.
Yes, you
okay,
may.
I got things
Drop
to say.
it like it's
now
hot.
I love
Drop it.
Tom Hardy. He's so hot, and also he's a good actor. But let's just take. I was texting Gage because Gage was at work when I was watching this because it was during the day today. Bane's voice. I know I was reading online that like they couldn't understand him when they were recording or something like that, and they had to like re-record it. And I know also he was going for a person who was experienced a lifetime of pain. But like, listen to me. That's not the vibe I got from this voice. I got old-timey person who was like, I don't know, maybe he time traveled or maybe he was an old man, like, Jordan Peeled and get outed into somebody else's body. I just did not get those vibes, and it was a little...
Hey there, young buckaroo.
That's-
I'm going to break
Yes,
you.
and it literally was so hard for me to move past how I'd be watching the movie and everybody else would be talking like this. And then Bane would be talking so much louder. And I was like, what is going on? I was like, the whole neighborhood knows I'm watching The Dark Knight Rises right now. I could not move past the voice, but that's just me.
He is a bit cartoonish. Like, I agree with you. I'm in total agreement with you because I love Tom Hardy too.
We love Venom.
fantastic and
Let me just say.
and like pretty much everything he's in. Like even Venom, which is a total crapper of a movie. Like,
why?
he actually makes it like somewhat bearable.
I just said I loved Venom. Why did you have to come after me like that?
Even something like Mad Max, which is like a masterpiece of a movie, he still makes that kind of bearable too.
You and I have very different opinions on things. Mad Max
What,
is
you don't like-
fine. I liked Venom.
Do you know
You're
what my favorite
crazy.
Tom Hardy role is?
What?
him as the embodiment of pelts in The Revenant.
Oh my god, he's
Excuse
wearing
me?
so many pelts in that movie.
What? I've never seen that movie because it didn't really strike me as something I'd be interested in. But the more I hear about it, the more I'm like, maybe I should give this a go because it's like it sounds crazy.
Not only is he wearing about 49 different
Oh my
pelts throughout
God.
the movie, I think every other word that he says in the movie is pelts.
Oh my
Pelts!
God.
Pelts!
He may as well be the bear that mauls DiCaprio in that movie. Like, this guy is, we're talking, he's no
He is
different in here.
furry.
He's got his nice big, like, stylish coat that he wears.
Oh my
in
god.
this movie.
Oh, wait, that coat? I
He's
was like,
pimping.
do you know how many guys wear that exact same coat as soon as winter hits? Like,
He's pimping. He looks like Drake. He looks like he's about to drop views or something.
and he's about to get me to be really into his music for an extended period of time. Embarrassingly
Oh,
long,
God.
as I might say.
Left foot up, right foot
Oh
slide.
my god.
Right foot up, left foot slide.
Oh, I forgot that Tom Hardy was in Inception, too. I love Inception.
Yeah, this movie's like Inception Part 2 because half of the cast is
Well,
in
I
it.
really
distinctly
is, yeah.
remember, I believe it was the reason why Joseph Gordon-Levitt, the reason why Joseph Gordon-Levitt was cast in this movie was because Christopher Nolan really liked working with him in Inception.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
This was part of a 3-year peak of Joseph Gordon.
Oh my god, do I need to get into how big of a crush I had on him in high school? Because it's embarrassing.
I
Yes,
think we
we
had
do.
the same
Oh.
crush.
Yeah.
Me and Anna had the same crush.
He's a snack, okay? Let me tell you right now, his jawline in this movie, whoo! My water bottle was empty halfway through because I was so parched.
Oh my gosh.
So the cast, with the turnover from Inception to this, not only do we have Joseph Gordon-Levitt, Marion Cotillard, who plays Miranda Tate, and no one else. That's her name in the movie.
Wink, wink, wink.
Tom Hardy and Michael Caine, who was in it already. They're all from Inception.
Yeah, where's my Ellen Page moment in this movie?
And technically, like the 5-second scene that has Cillian Murphy once again back in the sack,
I hated that. I hated that.
and by like the sack that he puts over his head. Oh, damn left.
Back in the sack. Wait, is Dan gone? Did he hang up?
I think Dan
I'm
left.
so upset with you that he just left. Dan, were you so upset that you left? This is the horniest of the three. Wasn't there a fireplace sex scene in this movie? Am I wrong? Was there no fireplace?
It's not. There's no specific fadoodling, but there is a fireplace and there is.
You know it happened. It's implied. The
Yeah.
boinking is implied. Also,
It's like
the sexual tension between Bruce Wayne and Catwoman, palpable. Palpable. No one else.
you guys like.
Yeah.
You guys like Anne Hathaway? How you guys feel about Anne Hathaway?
Fun fact: that is my grandpa's celebrity crush. He saw a picture of her after Les Mis came out, and he said, "Who is that?" And I said, "That's Anne Hathaway." And he went, "Oh, she is breathtaking." And I said, "I know." So I like Anne Hathaway. I like a lot of movies that I've seen her in. I've enjoyed. I think she's just great. I like her for a lot of reasons, but in this movie, I thought she was so sexy. I was like, oh, okay.
She was very attractive.
Yes.
Yeah.
Always in a leather spandex
Oh
suit,
my God.
too.
I was like, I literally took a note. I was like, she looks so good doing this fight scene in that tight dress. Yes, Anne. She looked great. I mean, I know it's not all about looks. She's also really witty and like smart, but she looked great.
She looks really great for being about, 400 years old? 500 years old? Wasn't she married to Shakespeare?
I'm leaving this group. This chat is
That
over.
is a joke. That is a joke that I make anytime that Anne Hathaway ever comes up into conversation.
poor-
And it always gets the exact same response.
poor girl
Everybody
probably-
gets upset with me.
That poor woman has probably heard that joke 1,000 times in her life. Oh, God.
Are you the same Anne Hathaway?
Yes. Just deadpan. Yes.
Yeah, I'm sure that paparazzos, when they're trying to get her attention, they go, "Yo, Miss Shakespeare, Mrs. Shakespeare, look over
Mrs.
here. How do you
William-
feel about King Lear?
Oh my God, Mrs. William Shakespeare.
How's Bill?"
God,
Man.
how does it feel to be married to such a genius?
We said how this movie is long. It's 165 minutes.
She long.
And she's so long that I normally use Wikipedia to remind myself of the plot as we go through this to run through. But I decided, hey, why don't I try and use the IMDb plot synopsis
Oh, God.
to remember
You
what it's
really-
like? Don't worry. The IMDb plot synopsis is only 10,000 words long and
Or did somebody
16
write this
pages.
synopsis for their college midterm?
It just looks like the entire treatment of the movie, but with way too much detail.
Oh God. Oh God. That's from The Office, the desk of Christopher Nolan.
Oh my God.
Me
Hey, you-
getting ready to hand in a paper in script writing.
Direct quote from the IMDb synopsis. Bruce is later booted out of a Wayne Enterprises board meeting at Daggett's behest. As he leaves the building, he finds his car being towed. Blake shows up and offers Bruce a ride.
Yeah, that's literally a very
So much
detailed,
detail.
I feel like you're reading to me from the script.
It says booted and behest. Well, it's a great indie rock band. I don't want that in my synopsis. I want it short, sweet, and to the
You
point.
gotta have an English major in order to read this synopsis.
My God.
Oh.
So there's a plane sequence, right?
Should we get
That
into the start of the
happens.
movie?
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah,
Let's do
how's
it
this
to it.
movie start?
Okay. Well, the movie actually starts with Harvey Dent's funeral. Blah blah blah. He's dead. Whatever.
Yeah, we all cry forever.
Harvey Dent.
He's held
Big
as a
sad.
hero, so nobody knows actually what happened.
Yeah, I guess, but I was like, what?
They also brush over the fact that his death leads to the creation of the Dent Act, which directly removes all organized crime from Gotham.
Yeah, they never really give an explanation of what it actually is. They say it gives them extra teeth.
Yeah.
Are those dentures? Are we talking
literal teeth.
veneers?
They're gonna just
What
take
kind of
the
teeth we
teeth out of
talking?
the residents of Gotham and put them into their own mouths.
You know those wind-up teeth that you can get sometimes and clack around and it'll follow you across your desk? It's those,
God.
but the size of people.
Oh God.
It's like a Roomba to chase down bad guys.
Love
Oh
that.
my God.
So yes, it does start off with a plane sequence in IMAX, very much in IMAX. A lot of this, half this movie's in IMAX, I realized while watching
Yeah.
it.
I think he was like, oh, the IMAX and the Dark Knight looked really cool. This whole movie's just going to be that.
Let's do more.
Yep.
And it is a CIA dark plane, and they are going to pick up a physicist, Dr. Lenny. Let's call him Lenny Pavel. Lenny Pavs.
Lenny Pavel.
But as they're going to pick him up, they also find 3 mercenaries of this masked man, this mysterious man named Bane, who they decide to bring with, because that's always smart.
Yeah, why not?
While they're on the plane, the CIA agent, who I keep thinking is Kyle Chandler.
It's Littlefinger. It's
Yeah.
Littlefinger from Game of Thrones.
It is. I thought it was Kyle Chandler for the longest time from Friday Night Lights, Coach.
Oh, he looks exactly
Yeah.
like him. I can see why you'd say that.
For a hot second, I thought that the physicist was Oscar Isaac. Just want to join in on this conversation. For 2 seconds, and then I was like, no.
Wow, Oscar Isaac, you look remarkably older.
That's what I thought.
8 years
It was
ago.
just from the side, and I was like, is that Oscar Isaac? And then I saw him from the front, and I was like, oh, nope.
Put a bag on that head,
Oh,
boy.
that's a double bagger if ever I seen one.
Are you calling him leaky? If it's a double
No,
bagger,
a
it
double
sounds like
bagger-
he's leaky.
Dan, are you not familiar with the term double bagger?
I mean, when I
It's
get my
when you're-
groceries.
It's when your partner, your sexual partner, is so ugly that you each have put a bag on your head. One on her head because she's ugly, and one on your head in case it falls off of her head. Now,
What?
not to be I know I said her head. It could be for whatever, it's just a terrible term that I love. Yeah, that's
Oh my
that's a
God.
classic term. Double bagger. One bag on your head, one head. Yep.
The age of innocence has ended for me.
Yep.
Good God.
I'm now an adult as Anna takes a drink of her Smirnoff.
Don't shame me. Tell everyone it's a beer.
It's not a beer.
No.
It's a margarita drink.
It's a key lime
vile.
pie margarita.
With no real tequila in it, because tequila makes my tummy hurt.
Oh my lord. Okay, so back on the plane without Oscar Isaac and with Coach from Friday Night Lights. He's trying to get them to talk, and the way he does this is by sticking their head out of a plane while also pointing a gun at them.
Over the top.
Yep. He's just firing. Obviously, he's just doing it to intimidate them, and like Bane knows what's up. He's like, "Oh, why would you shoot a man before you throw him out of a plane?" He says it exactly like
does,
that.
And I'm
yeah.
blasted out of my chair because it's way louder than all the other audio in the scene.
Yeah, everybody else is shouting throughout this whole scene, and it's pretty quiet.
Even the plane is like kind of quiet, even though it's flying really loud. And then Bane, why? Like,
And then Kyle Chandler takes the mask off of Bane's head, and we reveal that it is Bane. Buggy
nobody
Eyes
gasped
himself.
because we're all not surprised.
Yeah, we all hear, "Oh!"
Yes.
And then
Oh my God.
it's revealed that Bane, of course, planned to be hijacked, and his own goons come to hijack the plane and crash it down. They're here to kidnap Dr. Lenny Pavs.
This is some like Inception level like
Excuse me?
setup thing like going on here. I don't know.
Did somebody say
How they-
Inception?
It's just like this seems like it's something like straight out of that. It is straight
It
out
is,
of that
yeah.
era of Christopher Nolan movies. But like, you watch this, they're like flipping the plane. Bane's got like a pulley system thing. They're like pumping the guy's blood into another
Oh
body.
god,
Yeah.
yeah, they don't really go into detail about what Bane's mask is for. They just talk about like how he got it. But I definitely feel like, when I'm playing Injustice Gods Among Us and I play as Bane, you can see like that he's getting some juice pumped into his body.
See, they don't really ever say that specifically. You're
Yeah.
right. He has a toxin in the
Yeah.
comics. He's always doing the venom or
Yeah.
whatever.
Venom,
The-
you say? Tom Hardy?
That's yeah, that venom.
Yeah. And they never talk about, wasn't he originally supposed to be a luchador?
Well, that's the thing. I was gonna bring that up. Like,
I got you.
this is the second like ethnic Batman villain that got whitewashed in these movies.
Yep.
Because Ra's al Ghul is not Liam Neeson
Yeah. And
in
like,
the comics.
they had a
And
not white guy. Oh my god, I'm blanking on his name. Famous. He's famous and I can't remember. Send help.
I don't...
Ken Watanabe.
Yes,
the
Ken
guy,
Watanabe
fake Ra's
was
al
the
Ghul?
fake one. He could have easily
Yeah.
played the real one. Like,
Yeah. See, it's not that like I don't want to be like, it's a big deal.
no, I
It's-
know what you mean.
It's a deal, but the thing is like my favorite Bane is he's smart, but he's also like this big bruiser of a guy, and I think Tom Hardy kind of gets it. And
Yeah.
I think they do well with the writing, but I do like the luchador Bane who gets his powers from like juicing up, and he just turns into a giant monster.
Yeah.
One of my favorite skins to have Bane wear while playing Injustice.
Just luchador.
But yeah, no, I just was thinking about those two things. I was like, did I make this up? Does he not really get his power from like juices? And they never really
Yeah.
talked about it. So
No,
I think they were trying
it's
to
not-
do like a realistic Bane as much as you can do. So he probably does get his power from juices. It's just HGH.
oh,
Yeah.
true, true.
So they crash the plane, but they save all the people that they want to save. La-di-da-di-dee, the end. Roll credits, directed
That's
by
the whole
Christopher
movie.
Nolan. And then you know how in Endgame they go 5 years later, very slowly on the screen? This 165-minute movie ain't got no time for that. They just flash 8 years in the future.
They don't give you any like time indicators in this movie. like they
No, it's just
mention
like
it, but
background dialogue. Yeah.
yeah, which is hard for people like me who are easily distracted. Cause like I don't pick up on that unless I get 8 years later put on the screen.
Now I'm imagining all of the SpongeBob voiceovers being done by Tom Hardy as Bane.
8 years later. My dream.
So we see that Batman, he's disappeared. It's gone. He's gone. No one's seen him for 8 years. And, also nobody's seen Bruce Wayne for 8 years.
What a weird
coincidence.
That's a weird coincidence.
Don't even get me started on how dense these people must be. Don't even. Like, that's for the end of the movie. We'll discuss that at the end.
Organized crime, as we said, is gone. They're holding a fundraiser at Bruce Wayne's house, Wayne Manor.
The rebuilt mansion, the built brick by brick. Said he was going to do it in one movie, and he did it in 2 movies.
Yes. And what are they holding the fundraiser for? Is it for an orphanage?
I thought they were just commemorating the Dent Day or something.
Oh, yeah.
Wasn't it like Dent Day or something?
Yeah, it was Harvey Dent Day.
Oh, yeah.
And that's why Gordon had a typed out speech.
A 19-page long speech.
Oh, God.
Which apparently just revealed all the secrets, but he was like, I won't read it here.
Yeah. He pulls it out of his pocket, ready to give, and he's like, never mind.
Yeah,
That's not for
definitely definitely won't come up later, but
no. And we find out that Bruce Wayne, he's disappeared. He's a recluse who's a broken down man. He uses a cane. He hobbles around.
His body's in shambles. Let's talk about that. That comes up later, but like his doctor's like, you have the worst cartilage I've ever seen, by which I mean you have no cartilage. No, it's like, either way, I'm bad at quoting movies and telling stories. Sorry, everyone. But, it's dramatic.
Which I think that's the most realistic part of all of these movies. If you're going around crime fighting at night and you are like doing all those crazy superhero things, of course your body's going to be totally messed up.
Right? It's destroyed. He's got no knees, his arms, everything. He's just broken. He's a broken shell of a man.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he lists all his like scar tissues and all the like wounds that he's got. I was like, yikes,
yeah, his kidneys are scarred because people probably kick him in the kidneys all the time.
Yeah. Don't even get me started on his adult knees either. He has no cartilage.
Oh my God, Dan.
Thank you. Not even a giggle from Nick. Nothing. No reaction.
It was too painful. My kidneys are in pain now just from listening to you.
Not only is Bruce Wayne a broken down kid, an adult knee injured recluse, Wayne Enterprises is also losing money, as we learn from not John Hurt board member and U.S. Senator Patrick Leahy.
Like this guy.
An icon.
This guy's still in these movies, man.
Makes an appearance again. My one question that I got right last week on trivia.
We also, that John Daggett, who is Wayne's corporate rival, because the one thing...
Ben
Mendelsohn, doing an attempt at an American accent.
It was something.
Yeah.
Let's just say that.
Mm-hmm. He is... Because this movie needed more corporate espionage.
Oh my goodness.
He gets himself... on the board of Wayne Enterprises, which no one seems to like. No one likes that.
Guys, I mean, he's always good at playing a weasel. He's
Yeah.
a weasel in pretty much everything besides, like, Captain Marvel, I guess.
I mean,
And even that, he's kind of a weasel.
this character just really has the gall, you know? I mean, again, later on in the movie, he throws Bruce Wayne out of the room. Now, I don't care if my boss is driving the company into the ground. I'm not going to have the nerve to call them out on it, but also I am a baby, so... I was like, he's got attitude.
Oh.
In case you guys were wondering, he is a real character from the comics.
He is.
As well. Yeah, some of these characters are made up, but he He's supposedly he's kind of connected to the whole Clayface fiasco.
Oh, okay.
And it seems like it's his company that creates Clayface in the comics.
I realized I skipped over this because I looked at the IMDb novelization of the movie.
Yeah.
And also people that are introduced at the party for Harvey Dent's death. That's a weird way to put it.
The funeral, the memoriam.
No, I'm going with what I said.
Okay.
We meet Matthew Modine playing Officer Matthew Modine. And we also meet Miranda Tate, played by Marion Cotillard, who is a wealthy investor, and one of Bruce Wayne's servants, I guess, maids,
Some of
Anne Hathaway.
like the party staff, I would say.
Yes. Party down, if you will.
She looks great. She's
Yes.
great.
And she is there to steal the pearls, his mother's pearls, which
She's specifically there to steal
is
his
fingerprints.
prints, but
yeah,
but she does steal that as well. Yeah.
Why not? You know, 2 birds, 1 stone.
right? That's what I always
I
say.
I like how he just doesn't give her any sort of leeway. He shoots an arrow like straight at her face. This guy already knows like what he's up to, but I mean, yeah, he's like we were saying earlier. This guy's a broken mess, and you can see it on him. He's all like disheveled looking. He's got a beard mustache combo.
He's wearing a bathrobe, isn't he?
Looks like he came out of his 310 to Yuma trailer and just went to this.
Oh God. He's like, yeah, I can make
yeah.
it for the first scene, but I don't have time to change.
Oh, well, what's weird is that it's this specific event, somebody breaking into a safe, is the push that starts him back to being Batman.
Yeah,
Because the next morning he's back in the Batcave doing reconnaissance.
back in Bat
Yeah.
Cave. Thank you.
Oh, that gets a laugh.
Thank you.
That gets a laugh, but not a Daltonese.
It was a sympathy laugh.
Yeah, it's okay.
Anyway,
You guys,
At this point, we also meet Super Orphan
Super Orphan.
Joseph Gordon-Levitt,
Oh, my son.
the perfect cop, I guess.
God, he's so hot. I'm sorry, this is a thirst cast
Dude.
now. Anyway.
they should have just been like, it's Dick Grayson, deal with
Yeah,
it.
or
Yeah.
It's Jason Todd.
It's so stupid that they're like, I don't want to jump
It's-
ahead. I know no spoilers matters because it doesn't matter if there's spoilers.
Oh, we'll make fun of it later.
Thank
Oh,
God.
don't worry.
That
We
better
will
be
make
on the
lots of
agenda.
fun of it.
Good.
Yes, it's on the agenda. It's right after lunch.
Thank God.
Yeah. So
You good, fam?
yeah,
Yeah,
what just
I'm a-
happened?
I adjusted myself, much like Batman adjusted himself.
You took out both of your kneecaps?
Yep.
Yep. Okay.
When Bruce is doing his research on Selena Kyle, Catwoman, Mrs. William Shakespeare, my apologies.
Mr. William Shakespeare.
Alfred tells Bruce a story about how, since he has stopped being Batman, he hopes that he would never return. And specifically, he has a dream of one day sitting at a cafe in Florence and looking up and seeing Bruce there with his family. A very cute dream, very adorable dream, and one that obviously will never come up again in the film.
Never. But it's such a sweet little idea. I really
It
liked
is.
that. I was like, that's cute.
Mm-hmm.
We love a good foreshadow on this podcast.
It's all there, man. It's
It's-
all there.
The sun must be bright, because there are a lot of shadows.
Amen. This whole movie is one giant foreshadowing.
I mean, yeah.
So, we see Super Orphan goes to research a sewage treatment plant where a body has washed ashore.
Love that.
Yes, we love bodies. And he recognizes that the body is another orphan.
Yeah, orphan boys. Yeah, dead orphans.
Let's stick together, orphan children.
Like this movie needed any more like depressing themes.
This movie is straight up depressing. Let's just put it that way. Like some of the things in this movie, I was like, "Holy crap!" Especially the end. Like,
yeah, you got broken down Bruce Wayne. You got Jim Gordon, whose wife took the kids.
sad.
He's got
hated
nothing.
That.
This guy, you just know this guy's drinking himself to a stupor. You got who else? Everybody's just beaten down. Everybody's looking like garbage.
Yeah, literally. Alfred cries like 3 times in this movie.
Yeah.
It's so that man crying gets me crying.
I know. I'm like nobody hate on my Alfred.
That man gets me going.
Mm-hmm.
That man gets you going.
Would you say that Alfred's back in the sack, BD?
Alfred's out of the sack. Actually,
oh God.
He dips. He's gone.
He's gone. Out of the sack.
Into the fire. Is that how the saying goes? So the movie happens, and then it gets to the end.
Yep.
Oh God, there's so much in this freaking movie. We're gonna be on. This podcast is gonna be about 3 hours.
Yeah, sorry in advance, everyone.
I'm gonna skip over a bunch of stuff because I still haven't eaten dinner yet, so I can't afford this podcast to be 3 hours long.
That's fine. I mean, like, there's some parts that it's just a lot of action, and like,
There's a lot of. This movie's pretty action heavy, whereas like Dark Knight was like a lot of like conference rooms and then like explosions. This is more like. Something's going on.
Yeah, and I think
every turn.
This definitely has the best action of the 3 of them.
Yeah.
Especially the climax I like a lot because I will fight for this until my dying day. More action climaxes need to be in daylight. It's too dark when they're fighting at night. I can't tell what's happening.
You sound like my mom. She texted me, I'm trying to watch Ozark, but it's too dark. Me, like, are people dying? Her, no, the screen is too dim. I can't see anything.
I saw Rogue One in 3D with the glasses on, so it made it even darker. I had no idea what was happening for the first 2/3 of that movie. The climax in bright blue sky, I could recite it to you word for word and action for action.
Oh my God.
Yeah, another Ben Men being his little Weasley self in that movie. Self.
Anyways,
he's great.
So what happens in the movie?
Juno Temple is in it for some reason. She's a not character, but a character.
Who is she?
She's the little like Catwoman's like little buddy.
Oh yeah.
Why?
So is Joey King. Joey King is in this movie too.
She is. I'm surprised she hadn't set up a kissing booth in the pit.
Oh.
That's not what I know.
Oh, is that her? Okay. That's her. That's
her.
That's her. That's
yeah. She's
the little
also
girl
in The Act.
Oh.
Which I really like.
She's also in Wish I Was Here, the Zach Braff movie.
And
just me? Okay.
Okay.
I do know Zach Braff, but
So yeah, Super Orphan finds a dead orphan, and he then goes to the orphanage to see more orphans, living ones this time.
So many orphans. They're everywhere.
So many orphans, so little time. And he then finds out, and then so John Daggett is buying Wayne's fingerprints, which is what Catwoman was there to get. But as she goes to give Daggett the fingerprints, she is double-crossed by a bunch of henchmen, who are Bane's henchmen, obviously. I skipped over this. Bane is set up in the sewers. Yay.
Yes. Thank you.
Yeah, he's got a whole little cabal of dudes just hanging out down there.
Gross, honestly.
And Batman shows up for the fight and fights with Catwoman. And at one point in this fight, Batman goes to punch someone. The punch lands about 9 feet away from somebody, and that guy falls far back.
It was just the breeze of the fist really got him.
That's what they teach you in the League of Shadows, the breeze of the fist.
The breeze of the fist.
Oh my goodness.
Also, as this fight is happening,
I think you're talking about.
I am talking about a different fight.
You're talking about one of the ones that's right when him and Catwoman go in the bat.
When they're on the rooftop, right?
Yeah, the one that you're thinking of right now, she doesn't even have her suit yet.
Oh,
She's still in her little like black tequila dress thing.
Oh,
she
yeah.
takes out those
She
guys.
like fake cries and stuff. This is the one where I said she looked great while fighting, and I was like, yes.
She
strong
does.
women.
She was looking smoking, but yeah, she's like doing like a whole like boy cried wolf kind of deal.
Oh yeah.
She's like, help me!
Mm-hmm.
And as soon as everybody like turns the corner, she like immediately just straight faces and goes out the door.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Sorry.
You're
this
just about an hour
movie
ahead.
kind of runs
It's okay.
together for me.
There's a lot of fight scenes. It's okay.
Yeah.
Again, as I'm reading the Wikipedia to remember, the first. Oh my lord, the first act of the movie takes up 3/4 of the Wikipedia page description, and then the second and third acts are one paragraph each.
Oh God.
So what happens is that Gordon and the police arrive to pursue Bane, but Detective Commissioner Lieutenant Gordon forgot his title there for a second. I have to treat him with the proper respect he's deserved.
He's Commish Gordon.
Yes, Commish Gish.
Yeah.
Commish.
Before they unceremoniously fire him, which they announce at the dinner, they say they're gonna get rid of him soon.
Yeah, Matthew Modine, the
Don't
character
even get
and
me
the actor.
started. There was a lot going on for the Commish in this movie. There truly was.
Yeah, so much so that he gets double crossed by some men, and he gets put in a hospital.
Yeah.
Yep.
Very much injured, very
For
sad.
most of the film.
Yes. And then what happens? Why do I watched this today?
Yeah, I know. Well,
Okay.
So Bruce goes in the ski mask.
Yeah, and then
Yeah,
he
he goes to
cane
visit the
and
commissioner.
propels down.
Then that's when he decides to actually do it, because Blake visits him and like gives him the whole spiel.
Yo, you were an orphan and seeing a cool orphan with a hot girl on the arm and another orphan in the orphan car. Oh, it made me so orphan.
You were a super orphan, man.
The orphans are everywhere.
And like he obviously he just knows he's Batman. He just knows. He's like, you're Batman. I know it, because I'm smart.
Because I'm Orphan.
Yep, pretty much.
So, but that gets him to go back out, and then there's that big chase.
Yes.
Thing, because the stock market scene.
Oh
right?
yeah.
They go to rob the Bane and his goons go to rob the stock market. And the absurdity of that act is explained immediately once it happens, because he goes up to a stockbroker and tries to go into his computer, and he's like, "There's no money here. You can't rob anything." And Bane's like, "Well, then why are you here?"
I was like, "What, are you gonna take his wallet or something?"
Social commentary.
Oh God. I'm like, "Are you gonna take his wallet or something?" Because there's like literally nothing else you could do, I guess. But
no, he's there to do Cambridge Analytica and steal our data.
love that for us.
Yes, more specifically, he's just there to steal Bruce Wayne's data.
That seems kind of elaborate to get Bruce Wayne's data, but
yeah. And
I guess what do I know?
Batman really is only an agent of the Federal Reserve, and he only cares about financial crimes.
This is the spine. This is the straw that breaks the camel's back and gets him back in the sack, if you will.
Nick,
there's been too much sack talk.
He's back in the sack.
So Batman chases after Bane from the stock exchange. That's what happens.
Yes.
Yep. And Bane gets away because he's better.
And Matthew Modine is like, "Aha! I'm going to catch the Batman," because of course you are Matthew Modine.
Everyone thinks they're gonna catch the Batman.
The only thing that can actually catch the Batman, chlamydia.
Hey man, he's getting it.
So the real reason that Daggett needed the fingerprints was for Bane, so that he could execute a series of transactions to bankrupt Bruce Wayne. And nobody, not one person thinks, some weird, shady stuff just went down at the stock exchange.
Very publicly.
Very
might I add.
publicly. Huh. Now this billionaire has no money?
Yeah, I
Well-
feel like that would be the automatic reaction. It would be like, did you get robbed? Maybe just like a little bit.
Do you have Norton antivirus?
Oh,
did you
God.
Did you click on a
Yeah.
phishing link?
Yeah, literally.
It's kind of bogus. Like the newspaper makes it sound like he is like, what is it, like Bruce Wayne doubles down and loses, and I was like, that.
I'm like, did
Did
nobody
you forget about what happened?
Did he call his credit card company? Like, you know.
There's been some
he
suspicious
gets-
activity on your account.
Yeah, why wasn't his account frozen, you know?
It's because all that Bane really did was sell all his stocks and then buy stocks in Enron. Enron, a timely reference. It had gone under 8 years before this movie came out
Yup.
and 16 years before we recorded this,
Yep, love that.
Oh
when
my
I
goodness.
was 6.
I was 9.
What good times.
So Alfred tries to convince Bruce that he is not strong enough to fight Bane. And then he says, if you're going to fight him, I'm going to resign. That was a great impression.
Don't even get me started. All Alfred did was love Bruce, and Bruce was kind of a whiny baby about it. Like, it's my
Yes.
way or the highway, Gramps.
He's mostly in the right, but I think Bruce is rightly pissed at him for burning the letter.
Yeah, I guess. Specifically, like, when he's like, don't use Rachel against me. But, like, I know he wanted to just keep Bruce safe, but, like, there's just no right... The right thing to do would have been the thing that hurt Bruce the most, I think. And I think that's hard for Alfred.
Yeah.
But it's one of those things where, like, the right thing, it wouldn't have been the easy thing, and the easy thing wasn't the best choice. But, you know...
I got some real Anakin Skywalker vibes from Don't Use Rachel Against Me.
You turned her against me!
Oh, my God.
You have done that yourself!
Oh, God.
You will not take her from me!
Hate it. Hate it.
Oh,
Oh,
okay.
God.
Wayne... Bruce then finds comfort. I'm reading directly from Wikipedia now.
Yes.
Whoops, you're seeing how the sausage gets made.
Ew.
In Wayne Enterprises' new CEO, Miranda Tate, that's her name, nothing more. And he really finds comfort in her because he sees
Oh, yeah,
her
he finds a
standing
lot
in the
more than
pouring
that.
rain. Yes. And as I said, the only thing that can stop the Batman is chlamydia.
One might say they're back in the sack.
Hey!
Oh my goodness.
Yes, they have a
Thank
romantic evening in front of a fireplace. No saxophone music plays during this scene, which makes me very upset.
Yep.
They're laying
No,
under the pelts that were worn by that will be worn
Oh my
by
God.
Tom Hardy, who I almost just called Tom Brady.
Same guy.
Yes.
Pretty much.
Just. Oh, can we talk about Ben Men getting his?
Yes, we can. He gets his.
He's like barking at Bane because Miranda Tate becomes CEO, and he's like, "Oh, this isn't going blah blah blah," and Bane goes, "Oh, it seems everything's going according to plan." And what does he do? He starts
open
like
mouth
barking
kisses
about being
him.
in charge or whatever. I love this scene because the simple thing he does, he just lays his hand on his shoulder. He goes, "Do you feel in charge?" Like, oh
Some
my
of the
God,
ways
so
that
good.
Bane talks, I'm like, I don't understand. Why? Literally,
good.
one of my notes, it says, I'm not getting it, man. I'm in constant pain from Bane's voice. I don't know. I also put, Bruce, no, this hookup can lead to no good end, when he and Miranda freaked.
Exactly.
And it does not lead to a good end. This is where Catwoman agrees to take Batman to see Bane.
Yep.
This is what happens. So what actually happens is that Catwoman double-crossed the Batman and led him directly into a trap. And Bane says my favorite line of the whole movie.
Oh God, is it everybody's favorite line, Dan?
I'm here to fulfill Ra's al Ghul's destiny.
Oh, nope, it's not everybody's favorite line, but that's pretty good.
Wait, what's everybody's
That's a good
favorite
one.
line?
I always misquote it, but it's the one about the dark.
Oh, I was born in the dark, molded
Yes.
by it. You hadn't seen the light before becoming a man.
Yeah, that one.
You
That's the
merely
one.
adopted the dark.
But I always quote it wrong. I'm like, you were born in the dark. I merely Wait, that's not it.
I don't know. It's at least, like, I gotta say, the fights in this movie are remarkably better
Yes.
than anything that was in,
True.
like, Batman Begins. And even The Dark Knight, like, to a degree.
The fights
True.
are
The fight scenes are much more, like, actually shot.
they're super
that makes
clear.
any
It's
sense.
really easy to understand what's happening.
Yeah.
Yeah. This fight between them, this first one, is one of the things I really liked about it, is there's, like, no sound besides the impacts.
Yeah.
And the whatever, like the cape fluttering and all that kind
Yeah.
of stuff, but you're not getting like this bombastic music score and the heroes coming out on top. No, it's Batman getting his hiney just beaten to a pulp.
His
That's not the only
knees
thing he gets beaten to
re-broken.
the pulp.
Oh God.
He gets they recreate the comic book panel, the iconic one of Bane breaking Batman's back
Oh God.
Yep.
over his knee, which first of all, badass.
True. I will say that. True.
Second of all, the mid-90s were a real strong time to grievously injure or kill your superheroes if you were
Yes.
DC. The
It's
death of
just left and
Superman,
right.
the breaking of Batman. What else can we do? The drowning of Aquaman? Let's try it.
Love that.
How about the Flash? He runs so hard he turns into a beam of lightning that gives him his powers in the past.
Oh my God. Wait, is that really what happens?
That's a real thing that does happen.
I thought you
yes.
were kidding. Oh my God.
No,
Uh,
he literally turns into lightning and just
That's like a paradox, isn't it?
Right?
that's exactly what it is.
Oh.
What was really weird was when they took Martian Manhunter and had him listen to that Hall & Oates song Maneater, and he became Martian Maneater.
I'm sick of you
Oh
guys.
my.
It's
The
been a
90s
long
were
day.
so weird for DC. I don't get it.
Yeah, what a weird thing.
Wonder
huh?
Woman became Wonder Bread. It didn't make
Why?
sense.
Damn.
Oh my god.
I'm already Wonder Bread.
I'm already hungry still. As I said, I didn't eat dinner.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
All right, I'll help you. Yada yada.
Yeah. You take over to Yada.
So Batman gets banished to the Phantom Zone.
Why
Bane-
did you? Why?
Bane gets all of his like stuff, all of his like extra bat tanks. He gets all of that because it was all under one roof.
Can we just say
because it was a
those-
Big Lots.
I like the paint job they gave them. I'll say that much.
Yeah, it's the what is it, like the standard paint job we see the Batmobile in the first movie?
No.
Yeah, when he's
'cause-
driving it around. Yeah, when
Oh,
they do the initial like test drive of it.
Oh,
in
yeah,
the
yeah,
test
yeah.
track.
The default. So that happens, and then all the police go in a tunnel.
Yeah.
Oh my God! Don't even get me started on this scene. Do you know what football stadium they filmed that at, per chance?
Yeah, it's Heinz Field in Pittsburgh.
I was just
Oh,
curious.
that makes sense.
Oh
yeah.
my God!
Lieutenant Gordon, Commissioner Gordon, is a very poor strategist.
Just one of the most bonehead decisions made in this movie, and I was like, "Come on, man!"
Send
Yeah.
all the cops underground. What?
Like-
all of them,
I'd be like, I
Every
don't know,
single one.
maybe like 5.
except for you, orphan boy.
Oh God! You are most handsome cop. You're not allowed to go.
And you, Matthew Modine, you have a film to film.
Oh God!
Oh my gosh. Yeah, so they do that. They set up the whole. Remember, they were like setting this up throughout the movie, but you don't really notice it. They're talking about construction and like concrete mixing and stuff like
Yup.
that. It turns out they made explosive concrete. and have been planting it all over the city.
Isn't that just the pink slime from Taco Bell?
Oh God.
Like,
I'm so timely with my jokes.
You are. No, but I just watching that scene, I'm like, why? Why would you send all your cops in? First of all, as we already discussed, and second of all,
it ends up really kicking them in the arse because they lose all those cops
for 3 months.
They're all buried under there.
When I tell you, when they said it was 3 months that had gone by, my head whipped back around to the TV so fast. I was like taking notes, and I looked back up. I was like, 3 whole months? Wouldn't that be like your first plan of action? Would be to like try and get people out? They can't live down there.
Well, we haven't gotten to this yet, but when he gives his soliloquy.
True.
He's like, don't try to save them or I'm going to go boom boom.
Yeah, true.
Yeah. I really like that football scene. I like
it's beautiful.
Shot of the field like falling down below while the one guy's running in front of
it.
him.
We've been saying featuring Matthew Modine as himself because it's true. But also featured in this movie are actual football players. Ben Roethlisberger is in the background. The running back is Hines Ward, who is not playing himself. He's playing a character named Hines Ward, who is a football player for the Gotham Rogues.
Do you think he was like, yeah, I'll be in the movie, but I want to play a character. I don't want to be me. And they're like, yeah, well, you can play. And they just pronounce the name like slightly different.
Yes, they're playing Hines Ward.
Yes, that's it. Just different enough.
Yeah. Also, they're playing a football team from Rapid City.
Where's that? Is that a real place?
Okay.
No.
Iowa. Isn't that Iowa? Or is that Cedar Rapids?
South Dakota.
South Dakota, yeah.
South Dakota doesn't have a football team.
Well, in this universe, they sure do, and they're the big rivalry because everybody who's anybody is at this game.
Amen.
Yes. The mayor,
including the entire police force.
Oh yeah, I forget the mayor's name in real life. He's related to some other like famous people, but he gets he got spared in Dark Knight, but he gets sent up in a blaze of glory in this one.
Yeah,
oh boy,
he gets yeeted, as the kids say.
Yote.
Yeah, he gets yote. I'm sorry, I'm trying to look up his name. Nestor Carbonell is the actor.
That's quite the name.
Yes, he is related to Rafael Palmeiro, who is a baseball player, and Jose Manuel Cortina, who was a Cuban politician, lawyer, and journalist.
Well,
so
none of those people are the person I'm thinking of.
But the football players the real-life football players are Ben Roethlisberger, Hines Ward, Troy Polamalu, not actually how you pronounce his name, Willie Colon, Maurkice Pouncey, Mike Wallace, Heath Miller, Aaron Smith, Ryan Clark, James Farrier, Lamar Woodley, and Casey Hampton, and former Steelers head coach Bill Cowher.
I don't think I know who any of those people are except for Roethlisberger. And
you know who Troy Polamalu is.
Is he the one with the beautiful hair?
Yes, he's the Head and Shoulders boy.
Yes, then I know who he is. I just, couldn't pick him out of a lineup besides the hair. No, I mean like in a lineup of people with similar hair.
Him out of a lineup, is what you're saying.
Oh my God, never mind. I'm seeing the hair. I'm not seeing his face. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So the reason that they're at the football game is because Bane has to give his final speech before the speech tournament.
His final practice.
Yeah, they go the explodey and they blow up all the bridges but one while also blowing up the football field. And the only surviving football player is the character of Hines Ward.
Love that. Love that for him.
Who doesn't even notice because he is such a thundering run.
Mood.
Yeah, it's canon that Ben Roethlisberger died in this universe. So.
Also, a boy with a beautiful voice sings the national
Oh my
anthem.
God! Doesn't Bane even comment? Lovely voice. Yeah, I'm like, oh, okay. Is that gonna move Bane to like happiness and kindness? He's not gonna kill everyone, or like.
Oh my God!
What are those? In Italy in like the 1600s.
Oh, you mean a castrato?
Yeah, he's been
I know.
a castrato.
Yes.
He's really into that era of music.
He's like, I'd listen to a castrata all day.
So Bane gives his speech, and he shows that they have the neutron bomb, which I realized we have not mentioned. We skipped
But
over
there's
that
just like a
part.
total atom
Yeah, the
bomb that we
clean
haven't even talked about.
The clean energy resource, as it is explained, it's supposed to give forever clean energy to the city of Gotham.
Weird that it can so easily be weaponized.
But it's, yeah, it seems like with a couple strokes of a key and this guy that got robbed from the plane at the beginning of the movie about 3 hours ago at this point.
Yeah, Leonid Brezhnev.
3 snacks ago.
Like, I love it. I love that he like kind of like makes him say that, oh, I'm the only guy that knows how to turn this thing off, and he just breaks his neck immediately.
Yeah. And then Bane gives a speech. It's like, it's time to take back the city for what it's worth. Would anybody like to purchase some pelts? The rich will pay their fair share. The poor will take control of the rich. The spoils will be enjoyed. The victors shall own the pelts.
I mean,
And then, once we finally figure out how I robbed Wall Street, I occupied it, everyone here will receive 1 free pelt. Plus
literally.
shipping and handling. By the way, the bomb's gonna explode in 3 months if you try anything. Don't do anything. Bye!
Pretty much. He's like modeling a pelt too with that jacket. That beautiful stylish jacket that white boys
He's
everywhere will be wearing.
Stunting. He's stunting on them.
He looking
he is.
fine for Bane, you know what I'm saying?
Oh,
Anna,
man.
Anna, what are you holding up right now?
Oh, a
It looks like
pencil.
you're-
It's a
Okay.
pencil.
It looked like there was this blue light shooting out of it, and I was like, is she trying to blind herself with a laser
No,
right
you
now?
know that sometimes I just like to play with stuff. End of
Oh,
sentence.
do you guys like the fact that that zoom out shot when they're showing all the bridges like collapsing? It's literally just Manhattan.
It's straight up Manhattan.
I know, I
You
was
can
like,
see
oh, okay.
them building One
There's
World
like
Trade
no
Center.
question about
We're
it.
not going to disguise anything in this. This is fine. It's fine. This is
Yeah.
Gotham.
I don't think they did any like CG to hide any of the skyline. You
No.
can clearly see the buildings.
Like it's literally the position it's in is like perfect.
Yeah.
Like shot of Manhattan.
Yeah.
Like it's literally. And this in a Spider-Man movie? What am I watching?
It's beautiful minus, the explosions.
So yes, Batman is in the hole. Bane has taken control of Gotham, and the next act of the movie is the exact same plot of what's that Batman book that I read once that I can't remember the name of?
Yup.
No Man's Land. It's the plot of No Man's Land.
Oh, Lord.
Of Batman. I remember reading it and being like, wait a second. I read it after the movie came out because before I became every middle-aged man only reading nonfiction books about World War II,
Oh, God.
I used to read fiction books about superheroes.
You
I didn't
used
get
to
the comic
experience
books.
fun.
I got the novelizations of them.
Oh, God, Dan.
Oh,
Yes,
good grief.
I am studying to get a degree in library sciences. Who asked? But I remember reading this book and I was like, wait, I've seen this before. This is just The Dark Knight Rises. They took this directly from there. But that has not Catwoman, that has Barbara Gordon. This does not have Barbara Gordon.
Barbara Gordon isn't even in these films. It's got me
I know.
sick. Sick to my stomach.
Speaking of sick to my stomach, in the second act of the movie, Batman, Bruce Man, he's really just Bruce
Yes.
at this point. He's in the hole. His back is broken. His knees have kids.
Stop.
Come on.
He says that this pit is worse than hell because there's a hole at the top, which gives the prisoners hope that they can try to escape from it any time. Nobody's been able to. It's basically you just have to long jump. And I guess the hole also saps you of your thigh muscles.
I mean, like, honestly, can we take a second to talk about how the one time he actually does make it out of the hole is when he jumps without a rope?
Mm-hmm.
Like, he could have died. He
Yeah.
should have died all the times he did jump with a rope. He was snapping
Yeah.
like a twig.
That That definitely looks like it would snap his already pretty shaky spine.
I know.
back
I'm
out,
like, they're literally every single time somebody does it and they smack down, I'm like, that person's dead. And then miraculously they're not, because like you hear like, thwap, like it sounds like somebody was just snapped in half.
It sounds like the '60s Batman punch noise.
Yes,
they might as well have like the big bubble.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Pow.
I just want to say, if I had been in that prison, I think I would have gotten out because I'm just built different.
Oh man, he really is.
Oh my god. I would not have, because I have zero athletic ability. I would have been like, well, this is it.
You know who would have gotten out though? To make another timely reference, Alex Honnold.
I don't know if I know who that is.
He's the guy from Free Solo, the rock climbing movie.
Oh my god. Well, of course a rock climber's gonna make it out.
Yeah, he would have gotten out and then just done pull-ups afterwards.
Yeah, you see me, he'd be like, I'm not even breaking a sweat yet. Meanwhile, I'd be huffing and puffing like,
So, well, Bat Boy's in the pit. In Gotham, things are not going well.
Yeah, things get real hairy.
Yeah.
Yes.
Bane spoils the ending of The Dark Knight for everybody else that's in the city.
Hey there, boys and girls! Guess what? Guess who got a letter?
Oh
Guess
my
who got a
god.
letter? I just got a letter. Harvey Dent is Two-Face!
Like, just the fact that he still has the letter,
Yeah.
I was like, come on, man, with this letter that Jim Gordon wrote.
By the way, breaking up the prisons now.
Yeah, that's kind of just like, yep, we're just going to break everybody out, and it's going to be fine.
I also want to point out, he's giving a whole speech, and it's very well cut in the movie to go over, like the events of what's happening, everything. But in context, as he's giving the speech, he's delivering this to like 15 half-interested journalists.
They're just there, they have to be. They're like, oh, can't hardly understand what he's saying. He talks so weird.
So yes, things in Gotham are not well. That is to paraphrase the film quiz show.
God.
So Bruce hears stories of what life in the pit was like, how there has only been one person who's escaped, and we think that it is Bane, played by Joey King, who, if you might know, does not look like Tom Hardy.
No, I was shook at first. I was so confused.
Because she is a woman.
She is.
A very pretty woman, and Tom Hardy is a very pretty man.
He is.
Covered in pelts. And
He's actually kind of covered in pelts when we see him.
Yeah,
he is, yeah.
More like a burlap sack, if you will.
And there's not a lot to talk about for the entire second act of the movie.
Not really.
There's something going on in Gotham, and then there's Bruce trying to get out of the pit.
Yeah.
That's pretty much.
And he
And
has
he
a
does.
vision of Ra's al Ghul.
Yeah. Ra's al Ghul. Liam Neeson pops back in for a nice little cameo.
He's like, hi.
He drops, I think he says the same line, word for word, that Ken Watanabe's character says in Batman Begins. He says, Gotham City has da-da-da-da-da. It must be allowed to die. He says, like, the exact same thing.
Yeah.
I thought that was kind of fun.
That was cool. And it just echoes how this is far more of a sequel to Batman Begins than it is to The Dark Knight.
It really is. And then to follow it up, they followed that up with a scene of Thomas Wayne rappelling down into the cave.
Yeah.
And saying, why do we fall? Which, literally the theme of this movie.
So we can learn to pick ourselves back up.
I liked that a lot.
So then we see, as Anna said before, he only gets out because he gets rid of the rope and he jumps. And it doesn't look like it's that much of a jump, honestly.
Well, think about it.
I get
When you're
that
up
the point is
high,
you
wouldn't
have
you
the
be kinda
adrenaline
scared?
to actually push yourself more and higher because it's your only shot. It's 10% luck, 20% skill, 15% concentrated power of will, 5% pleasure, and 50% pain, and 100% and 100% reason to go and kill Bane.
Thank you, Dan.
Oh! That would have been so good if I didn't mess up in the middle of it.
It was still good, Dan. It was still good.
Thank you.
You can cut that part out. We won't think about it.
I can't, because do you want to know why I can't? Because after my audio cut out recording, I went to start recording again, and it missed about 10 minutes of our conversation.
Oh, no.
So I'm going to be recreating this.
Oh, God bless
good
you.
gravy.
So, listeners, if you've gotten this far in the podcast and you're like, hey, Dan sounds a little weird for about 10 minutes of the podcast, you were right. I actually sound weird for all of it, but I sound especially weird for that point.
Oh, no, Dan.
Goodness.
So, Batman goes, he escapes and he goes back to Gotham. In Cut Off Gotham, one of the rules that Bane had set up is if anybody tries to cross the bridge, they're going to blow everything up. Basically, the rule is if you try and do anything, they'll blow it up.
Stupid. Like, why? Like, you know you want to blow it up. Just do it already. Nobody cares.
Yeah. What leverage are you getting?
There seems to be like no physical way that he was able to get in the city, and I'm still not entirely sure how he did it. But he does just kind of just
It
show
just
up
shows
again.
up, yeah.
Yeah, he manifests.
I expected, the first time I saw it, I expected there to be like some like heist scene of him sneaking in or like somehow going across the ice.
Manifesting.
Yeah, no, they just kind of throw the, what is it, they put all the police in the courtroom with Scarecrow.
Yeah.
Handing out the judgments.
The kangaroo
and then,
court.
Yeah, and then it's like, oh, now Batman's back because here's a flare that's going to light this giant gasoline bat on this bridge.
God.
Did he, like, go up there and paint that himself?
He must have. He's
Think
like, this
of
is going to look
this.
so sick from far away.
You are Bruce Wayne. You are
Yes.
returning from a 3-month imposed exile in a hellhole prison.
Yes.
You get back in somehow. You find out, at this point, there is only like 5 hours before this bomb is going to go off, and you need to do everything in your power to stop it. How do you spend your time?
Painting
First-
a giant bat.
First, you go and have a conversation with William Shakespeare's wife
Yes.
and say like, hey, I need your help. And she's like, no, but fine. And then, do you go and help people? No. Then you go and paint a giant bat.
Yes. Love that. Honestly, very logical. I see no flaws.
Bruce Wayne.
God. Yeah, for real. This man.
Yeah.
So, that gets lit up. And then we got the little side plot of John Blake trying to get his little cop buddy out. He's been sending him little notes, like, throughout this entire second act. He gets him out of the hole. He immediately just gets shot right in the back.
Sad. It's very...
Like 3 months of just talking to this poor guy is immediately shot in the back.
And for some reason, have either of you seen Barry on HBO?
Yeah.
I have not.
I just finished the first season, and
So good.
I don't because Barry is he's a hitman who joins an acting class. That's all I'll say. But he was in Afghanistan. He was a soldier. He was a sniper in Afghanistan. And in the 8th episode of the first season, he tells the story of his first kill in Afghanistan, and it's how he sniped someone from 700 yards away. For some reason, when the cop gets out of the sewer, I just pictured splicing those two scenes up
God.
of Barry sniping the guy from 700 yards away, and then the cop, right as he gets out of the sewer, just getting smoked down. And I'm like, I'm not a good person.
Dan.
Dan, stick with that show. The second season's like even
Oh
better.
yeah, I watched the
Isn't
first
that
episode.
with
It's with Bill Hader.
Yes,
and,
I love Bill Hader.
And the man who I love, the Fonz.
My God.
Oh yeah, Fonz is a big character in that. There's who's his mentor? I forget his name. He's
it's Stephen
a
Root.
big character actor too. Yeah, Stephen Root.
He was in Get Out, and he's in the new Perry Mason, and he was in News Radio, another great television show from the 90s.
Oh my goodness.
So the movie that we're talking about is The Dark Knight Rises.
Yup.
And now it's time for the climax.
We made it,
Oh
guys.
wait, the the mask line? Did you guys laugh at the mask line?
Wait,
It's
wear a
right-
mask when he's talking to,
Yeah.
to Orphan Boy.
To yeah,
Oh, God.
it rings very true this year.
that's too real. That's
especially. He
too
goes-
real.
I don't.
Because he literally says it. He says, "Wear a mask," and then he says, "Do it to protect others."
Yeah.
Oh
not
my
yourself.
God, quaking. Too real.
I
Oh
didn't
yeah.
realize that it was actually 16 years later, not 8 years later. So in the climax, what happens is that all the cops get out because they blow up the wall of cars that was blocking them in.
Honestly, they all look
thank you,
great for having
Catwoman.
been trapped for 3 months.
Yeah, not a speck of dirt on them.
No, they all look like they've been showering regularly.
Clean uniforms.
They were probably pooping down that waterway that all those dead orphans were washing up on
Oh
earlier.
God, that's what was killing the orphans.
So the cops then go to have a mano-a-mano fight with Bane's goons, while simultaneously a small group of Gordon and company go to find the bomb and put a stopper on there so they can't detonate it remotely, and then they can drive it back to the holder that it's in and stabilize it, and then no boom, all good. And then also simultaneously, Orphan Boy goes to the orphanage to save more orphans and put them on a bus.
Love that.
And he goes to drive off on the only bridge, and the soldier on the other side is like, "Do not cross, otherwise we will blow the bridge up." Which I'm like, okay, weird turn of events to take there, Mr. Soldier Boy up in it. Oh, but that's fine.
Yeah, this guy really,
Yeah, like
he really screws this up for them.
He was
Yeah.
a big goof.
yeah, I don't even know what to think about this scene.
But so, what happens? We'll get to that. Batman is fighting with the goons and Matthew Modine and also the rest of the cops. They're fighting the goons and Bane. And they have a
Matt shows up in his like full
full dress regalia.
Well,
He
because
looks-
Gordon says it in the movie. He says it earlier,
Yeah.
right? When he meets him at his door, he says, "I'm not expecting you to get in your like full outfit and go up the main street." And that's exactly what he does, actually.
And yet,
So they fight, and Batman does what he should have done before and lightly taps Bane's mask.
Yeah, he starts going ape on that thing. He
Yeah.
starts like hitting it with his little
Yeah.
arm blade things.
Yeah.
And this fight is I really like this fight. I really enjoy it.
Yeah.
You can feel the weight of everything going on.
Yeah.
And it's just
Dude.
it's just two big beefy boys having it out with each other.
throwing hands.
The when like Bane like powers up, you know, when he first like knocks all the little pieces out and he starts like just wailing on him.
Yeah.
And he starts punching the pillar
Yeah.
behind him. Instead, he just like bashes a hole into the pillar. I was like, holy crap.
Yeah. But at the end of this fight, it is revealed that what's her name? Marion Cotillard. What's her name?
Surprise, surprise.
Miranda
Miranda
Tate.
Tate.
Miranda Tate. I was gonna say Sharon Tate. Not
nope,
that.
that's an actress.
It is revealed that Marion Tate is actually Joey King.
And we all gasped for 20 minutes.
Yes, she is Talia al
Collectively.
Ghul. She is Ra's al Ghul's daughter. Bane was her protector in
We gasped
the pit.
again.
He was covered in pelts once he was injured.
Yes.
They show like a very brief shot of him getting his mask pulled off in the pit.
Yeah.
He's just got like the cloth thing, and it's look, it's Tom Hardy.
Yeah. They never, again, this is where I was like, they never really discussed like what the mask was for, why it was put on him or anything like that. They just say like, oh, if you pull it off, like that's bad news.
Yeah.
So, also, Gordon ends up placing the thing on the remote detonator so they can't blow it up.
Yeah.
Well,
she had the bomb the whole time.
yes, she did. She had
I was
the
shook
remote
by
detonator.
that. I'll tell you that much. I was shook.
So, Talia leaves Bane to make Batman live until the bomb goes off.
She friend zones Bane too. Let's not forget.
Yes, she
says
does.
goodbye, my friend, and I was like, ah.
But like, also, I feel like he was kind of a big brother to her because she was a little kid when he was a full adult. You know,
Like
not
a big
to like get into
stepbrother.
the romance.
Well, yeah,
of,
definitely.
Yeah. So I feel
there
like
shouldn't be like. Yeah.
I too would have friend zoned Bane. That's what I'm trying to say.
What are you
Yeah,
doing,
no.
Step Bane?
Step Bane. I keep getting this one lyric by Childish Gambino stuck in my head. It's just so insane. It's an enemy of Batman, which has nothing to do with Bane, but I keep thinking about it. Also, there's a couple across the way from me, and I can't tell if they're like, it's like their first time hanging out, but the way my desk is positioned, I can see right into their apartment. I gasped earlier. There is a part where I went, because the guy just straight up took his shirt off, and I felt like I was seeing something I shouldn't have been seeing, but he's got a shirt on again. Anyway, I just wanted to share that with you. Sorry, Dan, you're going to have to edit that out.
I'm not.
And back onto this podcast about voyeurism.
Yeah, for real. Anyway, the movie.
Wait, you actually are experiencing Rear Window.
I hate it. I'm like trying not to look, but like I can't not. They're not doing anything. They're just like hanging out, but
Until they pull the shades and he starts stabbing her.
oh my god. I hope that doesn't happen.
I hope so too.
Yeah.
This is a pro not death podcast.
Yeah.
A pro living.
I only like watching documentaries about murder, you know?
So Bane, of course, is like, I'm not gonna let you live to see the bomb go off. I'm just gonna kill you now. Hee hee hee.
Is that what he says?
Yes.
Yeah, he's gonna like shoot him point blank in the face with a shotgun. I was like, holy
Ruthless.
crap, dude.
Ruthless.
But instead, Selena Kyle comes up and shoots Bane straight in the whole body with all of the firepower from the bat pod.
Love it.
Yeah, he's pretty unceremoniously gotten rid of. Very similar to how Scarecrow goes in the first movie.
Yeah.
I'd have to say. He just kind of like goes away.
Yeah.
It's just like somebody yanks a cord and pulls him off stage.
Yeah. The big cane comes
giant
out.
shepherd.
Da-da-da-da-da-da.
Pulled off by the mask.
And Catwoman says, this whole no guns thing, not for me.
I love her little binoculars that turn into cat ears. They really give me life.
Yeah, those are kind of cool.
Would she have been the girl that wore cat ears in high school?
Yes.
Okay.
She wore them to the ball earlier in the movie. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, she does.
Yeah, that's not something you grow into.
I know.
That's something that you are.
That's something you try to grow out of. She probably
Yeah.
was the kid that like played warrior cats in 4th grade, on all fours and was like hissing at people.
So to yada some, the Talia goes and she floods the chamber that has the reactor stabilizer thing in it, the thing that would have de-bombed the bomb, making it so there isn't really an option to not detonate the bomb. Talia's truck crashes as she does that.
Much in the same way as her father's death. It's the same music cue.
Oh,
Yes,
Same
very
music cue
similar.
as the train falling.
love that, honestly.
And she basically dies in the same manner.
Yes.
honestly
From a
love that
large metal thing.
big circle.
Yeah.
I love that. A large metal thing, a big circle.
No, I meant like circling back to the first movie. I
Yeah,
just
no,
it
I
didn't
understand.
come out that eloquently. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, so she has this really terrible death scene that people make fun
Yeah.
of online still.
She just dies like, oh, I'm dead now.
I'm Marianne Cotillard, and I am not in this movie anymore because I am.
The movie pauses. She bows like, "Thank you,
Yeah.
thank you."
The cane comes out. Da-da-da-da-da-da.
That's just how people are going now. It's just a giant shepherd's hook, like pulling them off.
So Batman realizes the only thing that he can do, because he can't stop the detonation, is to take his flying bat, the bat, and haul the bomb far over the bay, hopefully detonating not near anybody. It has to be at least 2.5 miles away from the bay. No, at least 5 miles, because it has a blast radius of 5 miles.
Yeah, well, yeah, I was like 6 miles doesn't even sound like that much, but I guess when it's a bomb like that, like there's more.
Yeah. So before he takes off, he indirectly reveals himself as Bruce Wayne to Gordon. I'm shocked that Gordon remembers this 30 years later. Sometimes all that a boys need is a warm hand and a coat, maybe a pelt.
God.
What if he just like started like listing off random kids who he like put his coat around throughout his years as a cop? He's like, no, it can't be that guy. That guy's dead.
Little Jimmy? Steven Van Zandt?
Have you seen that TikTok where it's like the music for Alejandro by Lady Gaga is playing and somebody's like, your sugar daddy died, and they're like, Alejandro, and they're like, no, the one with 4 kids, and they're like, Roberto, and they're like, no, they're like, that's what I'm picturing right now.
He's just going through. He's like,
Fernando, like.
So earlier in the movie, a throwaway line is that the autopilot has been broken on the bat, so it doesn't work. So Batman himself has to fly the bat away over the bay. And he does, and it explodes over the bay. It saves everybody in Gotham, but Batman dies. The orphan kids are still orphans, but they're still alive.
yeah.
Let me just tell
They
you.
get the.
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
I was just gonna say they get the end of the Hamilton treatment with the giant orphanage being the end of Hamilton. It's the same thing.
Yep. I will tell you, I was shook when I saw the ending with the explosion. I was like, oh, he dead. He gone.
Yeah.
I was shook. I was sitting here on my couch, chips falling out of my mouth. My mouth was agape.
And then we have, I guess, a postscript. Batman, they think he's dead. He's dead.
Yeah.
And he's hailed as a hero now.
They kill Batman, but they don't kill Bruce Wayne.
What?
Loved that.
So, Wayne Manor becomes, as Nick said, the orphanage. Oh, this movie would have been way better if it ended with Joseph Gordon-Levitt looking directly at the camera and gasping, like how Hamilton ends.
Oh my god.
That was so weird.
A single tear in his eye.
That was so weird. I was like, why'd she do that?
I had to ask. I was like, Gage, what does this mean? I was on Google, like, why?
Is that supposed to be like Eliza's last breath? Why?
Oh, I thought it was her realizing the impact that she made.
What a weird choice to end a show on.
Anyways, Gordon finds the bat signal is repaired and no longer a bat signal. And Lucius discovers that Bruce fixed the autopilot on the bat. And
they really had me messed up.
After we see Alfred cry again, I'm sorry,
Hated
Master
that.
Bruce, I failed you. Heart-tugging, heart-wrenching.
Oh my god, I was crying. I was like, that's too much.
And the only way that he can mourn is to go on vacation to Florence.
Same. Oh my god, same.
Where he sees, sitting at a table across from him, Bruce alive and eaten with Selena Kyle and some kiddos.
Now, there's a couple things. There's a couple things. I just want to bring this up real quick. The poem or whatever it seems to be that Gordon is reading at the end of for Bruce Wayne's funeral, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
It's Tale of Two Cities.
Oh boy,
towards
that's
the end of
some...
Tale of Two Cities. And that's supposed to be like a whole thing because pretty much the entire story of Tale of Two Cities is very much told throughout this movie and the last one as well, I guess, because the whole conceit is like somebody gets switched out with somebody else and like takes the fall.
Yeah.
At the end of that play, somebody gets like killed instead of someone else, if I remember correctly. So that's kind of like supposed to be like the Dark Knight, but
it's Lemmy, isn't it?
What's up?
It's Lemmy, right?
Oh my god.
Yeah.
What? Isn't that...
Oh no, that's Of Mice and Men.
Yeah, that's why I was like, Lenny?
I thought you said Lemmy, and I was just like, yeah, I'll go.
You
with
want
that.
to pet the
That's his name.
bunnies, Lenny? Right? That's that.
I'll pet the rabbits.
Yup. You'll pet
Get
the
the
bunnies.
pouch!
Bang, bang.
Get the pouch, Lenny!
Oh, God. You finna pet those bunnies. Pop, pop.
So there's that, but there's one other thing that I'm sure Anna is itching to talk about. Our hero,
Our hero.
our love, the love of our lives.
Yes, our
Joseph
collective
Gordon-Levitt.
husband.
Joseph Gordon-Levitt goes to...
John Blake.
Yes, John Blake. That is his name. John Blake. He goes to, I guess, like a will reading. And it sees that Bruce left everything to him.
Mm-hmm.
And as he's leaving, the arbitrator says, you should really use your first name. Robin.
Who did that? Please tell me whose bright idea it was to include that line, because I want to know if they genuinely thought it was. I just want to talk.
I guarantee you that was Chris Nolan.
Get him on the phone right now.
like,
Hello,
"Ugh."
Chris.
This is my
He was just
masterpiece.
He was
Cherry
like-
on top.
He's like, how do I include that this is Robin without like putting him in yellow tights?
And this was so much of a secret that they dubbed that line over, so no one but Joseph Gordon-Levitt knew.
Are you serious?
I'm serious.
That was like a big deal to them. They couldn't even Marion Cotillard, she got outed as Talia before this movie even came out because there was that shot of her getting into the tumbler with the like robes on. People were like, "Look, she's wearing like Asian-looking robes. I mean, she's not who she says she is.
Yeah.
She's obviously not Miranda Tate." But then this was the big secret, was that Joseph Gordon-Levitt, who's been playing John Blake this entire
Literally
movie.
knew that. I think I knew that before the movie came out because there were rumors.
Yeah, there were rumors.
They were like, "No, he's Nightwing." I was like, "Who?" Just kidding. I know who Nightwing is.
Well,
but like,
if he was gonna become a superhero, he can't become Batman. That
No.
would be like me becoming a superhero named Dan.
true.
Or sorry, he can't become Robin.
Yeah. Well, Nightwing is Robin.
Yeah, he can become, but like, it starts off as Robin and then becomes Nightwing.
Yeah.
If he starts off as Robin, that'd
By
be like
being
you being, it's
born
me,
Robin.
Anna. I mean,
Nightwing.
Nightwing.
It was just, I think it's a very elaborate troll
Yeah.
by them, just to be like, yeah, you guys wanted Robin in any of these movies. Here you go. He's Robin the whole time.
God. I feel like Chris Nolan saw that at the premiere and he was like,
Where's
turns
my
around
Oscar?
like, where's the outburst of applause? Everyone, clap. I am clever.
God,
Ugh.
just
It's,
call him Dick Grayson and call it a day. You don't
Literally.
even have to call him Robin in the movie. Nobody would care.
I know.
Yeah.
Everybody knows. If it's Dick Grayson, we know. Like,
I really wish that they went, you should use your real name, Dick,
oh.
and then cut to black roll credits.
They all stare at the camera. Oh, God.
So that's The Dark Knight Rises. That's the plot of the long one.
We made it, guys.
We made it.
It's only
In
been...
comparison to the other two, what do y'all think?
I agree with what Gage said, that the first one is the worst. First is the worst, second is best, third is the one with the hairy chest. Yeah, I agree.
Third is the one with the pouty chest.
Precisely. I agree. I agree. I liked the second one better.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure if that's just because it's so... What am I trying to say?
The
Like,
second
it's
one
so
is-
important to people our age. Like, it's such a...
Yeah. Well, also, like, The Dark Knight is less of a comic book movie. This
True.
and Batman Begins are far more of comic book movies. The Dark Knight's a crime movie.
Oh, and it's so good.
Yeah.
It's a
It's
heist
so
movie.
gritty.
Yeah.
It's shot like I have a completely different vibe watching this movie compared to watching The Dark Knight.
Absolutely.
It feels like it's shot like completely different,
Yeah.
which it kind of is. It's shot like you said. There's a lot more like IMAX big scenes going on in this movie.
Mm-hmm.
That movie's like so contained and like I don't know. It's so bizarre.
Yeah, and which is weird because it's still Wally Pfister. It's the last movie that Wally Pfister worked with Christopher Nolan, but it just feels completely different. I would say that it's always weird looking at the three as a trilogy.
Yeah.
Because they don't feel like a trilogy. And I think part of that is hampered by Heath Ledger's death.
Yeah, I would agree.
Because
there's no good way. Oh, sorry, go
the
ahead.
Joker didn't die in The Dark Knight.
No.
The rumor that I heard, and I choose to believe, is that this movie was all supposed to be the trial of the Joker. Which I thought would be a really interesting take. And when that happened, they needed to come with a completely new direction. They don't mention the Joker at all in this movie. And I think that's partly out of respect for Heath Ledger.
Yeah.
And not wanting to affect how that performance is seen, but also out of the fact that they needed to come up with something to do, and they figured we should just do a 180 from what our original plan was and do this thing instead.
Yeah. And I think it didn't turn out bad. It just wasn't as good as the second movie.
Yeah. Nick, you haven't said anything about that.
See, I'm of two. I want to think of these movies as Batman movies first, and then as like movies second. For pure like Batman goodness, it's still Dark Knight, Batman Begins, this movie. But I suppose in terms of movie, it's probably still that because
okay.
I honestly, there's still so many things I find in this movie that I like say, that's weird. Why is that like that? There's a scene where Bruce goes to talk to Lucius before he shows him all the stuff, and there's a shot behind his shoulder pointed at Lucius, and then there's a shot behind Lucius pointed at him. And every time those shots switch, you see Bruce Wayne's hand is on his cane, or it's not on the cane. It's on the cane when it's in front of him, and it's not on the cane when the shot is behind his shoulder. And it keeps switching between those. And it keeps switching. And it keeps switching.
I love a continuity error. I love a continuity error.
I was like, maybe you didn't see it the first 2 times, but you didn't see it the other 8? What?
Oh, you know the editor saw that, but was like, there's nothing I can do.
Well, also, was he like, is this the only usable take that we have?
Yeah, he's like, how many? We were like, it's a one and done. It was so good. And the editor's sitting there, like, pulling their hair out, like, no, please.
Christopher Nolan goes, okay, once more for safety, and Christian Bale just throws the cane at him and walks off.
Oh my God, my worst nightmare as an editor. My worst nightmare.
Oh my God, what if Christian Bale had like a Terminator Salvation meltdown on this set?
Oh God.
For those of you who don't know any of what I'm talking about, there's a little ditty called Terminator Salvation. It's a good movie that you should definitely watch.
Well, I don't know if that's true.
You're entitled to your wrong opinion. That's fine.
It's a joke, guys. It's a terrible movie. I hate that movie. But besides it being bad, Christian Bale plays John Connor in it, and there's a very classic
profanity laced.
It's a audio recording from a botched scene that came out of Terminator Salvation
because someone on the set's cell phone went off.
I thought it was somebody like walked in front of a light or something.
It's something very minuscule.
It's very innocuous, like some set person just messing with something. And Christian Bale proceeds to absolutely berate this person into the ground.
God, no thank you.
And it is so... It's funny, but it's also kind of scary.
Yeah. I think at one point during the rant, I might have self-censored this for me. I think he just goes, "Oh, good for you!"
Wait, me every day. Oh, God.
So just to go through a couple of categories real quick, because we're coming up on my recording the 2-hour mark. So
Oh my goodness.
it's going to
Lord
be
above.
a little shorter than that. Favorite character, just straight up, of this movie.
Officer Blake.
Okay.
I almost said Dick Grayson. I hope you know.
Definitely not Matthew Modine. Who is the other guy? He was like the other guy that was like working on it with him, and he gets exiled and sent out to the ice and falls through.
Yeah.
Or that guy.
Yeah.
Or whoever that guy was.
That guy. Okay.
Very scientific name.
My pick is Hines Ward, playing the character
Lord.
of Hines Ward. Or Troy Polamalu.
Playing his hair.
I'm going to ask, who do you think's doing the most in this movie? I really hope that we all agree on the same one. Well, actually, I think there are two people who are really just giving it their all. Number one is Tom Hardy.
Yes. Oh
I
my
mean, this-
God. Just his voice, though, not his actual him as a whole.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's on another level. This guy's in a different movie.
Literally, he is. He's in Venom already.
Like a turd in the wind.
Oh my God.
Oh,
Good.
man.
I said the only line I remember from Venom. I like Venom, too. I like
loved
it
Venom.
far more than Joker.
Oh,
I will say, I did watch the 60 Minutes interview with Joaquin Phoenix
Yes.
that he did before the Oscars last year with Joker. It almost made me like the movie more, and then
Maybe
I
I'll
thought
watch it.
about it again, and I was like, oh, wait.
Stop thinking about it so
no,
much.
I don't.
Then.
yeah, don't come here with that big brain thoughts and stuff like that.
Get
have
your
such a
negativity
large
out of
head.
here.
The other actor doing the most is Matthew Modine. I'm sorry, Matthew Modine, if by chance, for some reason, you're listening to this, I think you're a wonderful person. I bet you're a great guy. I do not think that you were meant for this movie.
That's okay, you know. Not everybody's meant for everything, but you got the
Yes.
paycheck, and that's what matters at the end of the day.
Yes, it is. Get that bread.
Yeet that wheat.
Yes, sir.
Get that Wonder Bread. And lastly, out of 5 Christian Bale rants.
Oh, baby.
Actually, second to lastly, out of 5 Christian Bale rants.
Oh, my God.
Nick, what do you give the movie?
I gotta give this a back in the sack out of 5.
Okay. Oh, boy. Anna?
I was gonna say 3 out of 5, but I don't know how I'm supposed to compete with a back in the sack out of 5. Jeez Louise.
While Anna thinks of what she's gonna rate it, I'm gonna give this a pounce out of 5.
Oh my God. You know what? I'm gonna give it a me misquoting Bane out of 5.
Okay.
You adopted the dog. I was merely born in it.
That was closer to being right.
Thank God. I don't know. I try. I'm not dumb. I just don't pay close enough attention.
And lastly, Anna,
Dan.
better, worse, or the same with Jonathan Taylor Thomas as Bane?
Bane.
Yes.
Better. My God. Can you imagine? I'm picturing it. Oh my God.
And Nick, I'm sorry, I forgot who you said who we picked as
We
your
picked
favorite
DiCap.
actor or actress.
I put DiCap, yeah.
Okay, better, worse, or the same? Leonardo DiCaprio as Miranda Tate.
Oh my God, this movie is a masterpiece.
Where are my
Oh,
advanced
my God.
screening tickets?
That's a holy trinity right there, dude. Oh my goodness.
The scene where
Yes.
they make love in front of the fireplace. Are you
Oh, it's
kidding
beautiful.
me? Beautiful. Oscar worthy.
How very call me by your
DiCaprio's-
name.
DiCaprio's gonna sell that he's definitely not the bad guy more than this chick does. Let me tell you
Literally.
that.
I would buy it.
Absolutely.
I would have been flabbergasted.
And then Better, Worse, or the Same with Jimmy Stewart as... Oh, who should Jimmy Stewart be? With Jimmy Stewart as Hines Ward?
That's what
Better
I was going to
movie.
say. Yes.
Or Jimmy Stewart as Matthew Modine? Worse.
Oh.
Only Matthew Modine can play Matthew Modine as Matthew Modine.
If he's playing Hines Ward, though, I'm front row.
Dear God.
I'm front row.
Him hobbling down the field with his cane.
So fast, though, that the
slowest
bombs aren't getting
explosion.
him. I'm there.
All for it.
Oh my God.
So, yes, that is it for The Dark Knight Rises.
Oh, you guys want my requisite stupid fact that I found on
Yes.
IMDb?
Yes, please. Oh, Lord.
This is a good one. During production in Pittsburgh, a local man was arrested for attempting to steal an unmarked police car. He said he was an actor and that his crime was actually a scene for this movie. A local newspaper ran a story with the headline, "Like Batman, car thief's story does not fly."
That's so clever. Wait, I love that. Oh, my God.
So
That's awesome.
yeah.
Thank you, Nick, for not only that fact, but also being with us for the past 3 episodes.
Yes.
It's been a damn near pleasure, my friends.
We will have you on again once the Batman releases and we
Oh,
talk
my
about
God.
that.
I can't wait.
Oh, yes, please.
Get ready. I'll be wearing my Riddler costume. Even though that's not how this Riddler is going to be dressed, I'll be coming full Batman 60s TV show.
Yeah, which Riddler are we talking about? Jumpsuit Riddler? Are we talking
Jumpsuit Riddler.
3-piece suit? Okay.
No, I'm on a budget. I'm balling on a budget. We're jumpsuiting.
Yeah. Red
Okay.
jumpsuit apparatus.
Yes.
Riddler.
Oh.
Nick, if you want people to find you on the internet or if you want to hype anything.
Oh, God. Can somebody please send me some goddamn love? I'm just I'm just sad. I'm just so sad out here, man. I got nothing.
I'll hype you up. I love hyping you up. You know it's my favorite.
Oh, man. This movie just drained every bit of joy I had.
You're a radiant star in my galaxy, Nick Belsanti.
I'm doing good, guys. If you want to find me, I don't really post very regularly, but I do have a Twitter. It's NBELSANTI18. I occasionally say some stuff on there, but besides that, don't find me.
If you want to find something else, like, I don't know, the show, you can. It is on Facebook and Twitter @ and in conclusion, on Instagram @ in conclusion podcast, on Patreon at patreon.com/in conclusion. If you want to find me, you can on Twitter @ DanO'Keefe86, on Instagram @ DLRAAR. Anna Otto, where can they find you?
They can find
Here
me.
comes Anna's long ass thing.
Is everybody buckled up for the longest part of the podcast? You can find me on Instagram @ OptimusPrime818 or on Twitter @ AutobotsRollout, capital O for Auto, capital B for Bots, capital R for Roll, and the O in Roll and the O in Out are zeros.
Oh,
Gorgeous.
I said
Join
a million
us.
times, I did not make that handle when I thought I was going to be on a podcast.
But now you can't change it.
What'd you say, Dan?
Now you can't change it. It's
I'm-
become part of you.
I'm choosing to never change it because I love it.
Is that a choice? Is that an acting choice?
Yes.
Yeah, did you fill out your goat sheet?
I did. I never had to do those, actually.
Well.
Join us next week when, unfortunately, we will not be joined by Nick.
Oh.
But instead, we will be joined by someone. I
It's
don't
Jordan.
know who.
I asked Jordan
Okay.
Feger.
We'll be joined by Jordan Feger, known human being, to talk about the Halloween Town series.
Oh my God.
Just in time for spooky season.
Yes, to get in the spirit, I've been playing with a spooky doll pretty much this entire episode.
Love it. I
it's been
am a
fun.
spooky doll, so.
For all levels except for human, I am a wolf.
Oh, I wanted to mention we never once throughout this entire series said same bad time, same bad channel for
Oh
any,
God.
Should I
any
be
of the
proud of that,
endings.
or should I be upset with that?
Maybe a little bit of both.
I am a little bit of both. You know what? Nick might not be here, but Dan and I will be here next week. Same bat time, same bat channel.
Oh, you can't do it now. Oh.
Join us next week. Same Halloween Town time. Same Halloween Town 2 Calabar's Revenge channel.
Heck yeah.
Well, we talk about Halloween Town. Everybody stay safe, have fun. See you next week. Bye-bye.
I love you, mommy. I love you, mommy.
Is it me? No, you're real, Mom. I'm just kidding. Bye. That's what everybody says, and I'm like, well, I'm sorry I'm from here where we have cheese.